Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing great today. Okay, so I'm smiling because I stumbled on this video that really gladdened my heart, and the reason it gladdened my heart is because I had made a promise to myself. And I said that if I give anything to my followers, especially my Nigerian, or should I say African followers, it has got to be this video on the digital currencies that are launching across the continent of Africa and even around the world and the implications of it. I said to myself, there's no way on earth I am not going to make this video. I've been putting the materials together and I said, okay, the next time I'm going to be in front of the camera, I'm going to put all this together and just release it. And then I stumbled on this video and this brother, I'd never seen him before. He just did such a fantastic job of explaining every single thing that I was planning to put in the video. And so what I decided to do was I said, I am going to just get you guys to please pay close attention. Every single thing you're about to watch is real. It is what is coming. It is what is almost here with us. This is what I keep saying to us. When you know what is happening, you are better prepared psychologically to deal with the fallout when the time comes. Because the plans they have are very draconian. They are very dangerous. They are things that will impact you. They are things that will affect you. And so why we show all these things is not to stoke fear, is not to instill fear in anyone or to, do some type of propaganda or fear mongering. It is to prepare you psychologically. That's why we show you all these things. So I don't need to do any video again because this, my brother in Christ, has done such a fantastic job. So please pull up your chair, get your friends and family, and come and listen to what is going on with this whole central bank digital currency that is launching all over the place. And so you can understand how it is all connected to the mark of the beast, because in no time, if you don't have this mark, if you don't have your BVN, your NIN, which they have now used to, connect everything. When the BVN was launching, I told people in Nigeria that at the end of the day, it's not only your account that is going to be linked, your phones are going to be linked as well. They laughed at me. Not long after that, they saw that the thing just happened. If you don't have NIN, your phone is shut down. It's happening before our eyes. You see that? And where did it start from? It started with COVID. Remember when Edo State governor announced that if you didn't have your proof of vaccination, that you were not going to be allowed into any event center or into a shopping mall or into any public place at all. That was the launch of draconian leadership. It started with COVID, and now from COVID, they have moved up to the point of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Let me say no more. Watch this.
I want to begin by sharing a particular announcement that was made at the World Government Summit just a few months ago, and we're all familiar with these words. And the title of this session, Good Samaritans, are we ready for a new world order? Listen.
And the title of this session, are we ready for a new world order?
As I sat back there in the office praying to come forth, I said to myself, Elder Buchanan was in the office, and I said, I need to begin almost all of my presentation with that one announcement, with that startling question. Are we ready for the what, my friends? The new world order. Now notice here, in chapter 13 of Revelation, the Bible speaks of this coming new world order. It says, again, if it's a new world order, there has to have been an old world order. Do you agree with that, my friends? And in God's order, we find 6 days he would labor, do all his work. But on the seventh day, he would do what? He would rest. So what is this new world order about? If you were to simmer it down, it brings us to false worship, Sunday worship by law. With penalty, we won't be able to buy or sell. Now notice, who is calling for this new economic order? Economic order. Who is calling for that? Mr. Antichrist himself. It's clear. And we're told, who controls the food? Who controls the food supply controls the people. And who controls the energy can control whole continents. Read the last one with me. Who controls money can control the whole world. All right, friends. A new economic order he's calling for. A new economic order. The tentacles of the mother of all beasts. And why would they want a digital economy? Because with a flick of a switch, they could leave you without a what? A penny. Take a look at this, my friends. Today, oh, my friends, today, I'm going to focus on the continent of Africa. And I want to be very specific. Several countries comprise Africa. I want to focus on the country that has the what? The largest economy in Africa. Which country is that? Close. Africa's largest economy, that's Nigeria. Beloved, I believe we can see exactly what is going to blow across the waters from east coming west to America as we consider what is transpiring right now in Nigeria. My friend, please buckle up your spiritual seatbelts right now. Watch this. What is Nigeria launching and has launched? Nigeria launches e-Naira, which is Africa's first, what, my friend? Digital currency. It is Africa's first. May I ask you a question? Which country in the Caribbean was the first country to launch a central bank digital currency? Jamaica. I said to Elder Buchanan earlier, I believe we can make a comparison between Jamaica and Nigeria. What Nigeria is to Africa in the area of the economy, CBDC, Jamaica is to the Caribbean. Jamaica is to many other nations. Jamaica and Nigeria are joined at the hip. You will see that. You watch. All right? And notice now, how is Nigeria trying to move the population to accept a digital-only economy? How are they doing that? Headline, Nigeria to limit what? Cash withdrawals to $225 a week. Could you subsist and survive on that? It's your own money. And yet they place a limitation on your own money. So what will come to America? When America launches its own CBDC, they are going to put limits on your cash withdrawals. By the way, mark my words. What's today's date? May 20th, 2023. Mark my words. And by the way, when will America roll out their version of CBDC? What month of this year? What month? July. That's approximately 2 months from now. All right, there it is. Nigeria caps ATM cash withdrawals at $45 daily. Think about that. Why? Why? It's right there. Nigeria's central bank slashed the daily withdrawal limit from automatic teller machines in a bid to boost what, friends? Their digital economy. It's coming to America. All right? As if God is saying, show my people what's coming. Since, not if, since they can do this to the largest economy in Africa, you think it's difficult to take over Jamaica? And any other country or continent, south or north? Nigeria, Africa is your testing ground. Watch this. Not only there, EU, what? The whole European Union, pushing the so-called criminalization of physical cash with new anti-money laundering law. Here it is. They set limits up to 7,000 euros for cash payments and 1,000 euros for crypto asset transfers, where the customer cannot be identified. No transactions over 1,000 euros. In Nigeria, it's lower, $225. Look at this. Experts raise concerns as Nigeria limits what? Cash withdrawals. Now watch this statement, friends. I'm going to share with you that Nigeria and Jamaica are joined at the hip. Look at the red words right there. It says, the policy is intent, by the way. This is not some, what they call alternative media posting this. This is mainstream media, Washington Post. Watch this, red word. The policy is intended to cause discomfort to move you from what to what? From cash to cashless, because the central bank have said they want to make it how? Uncomfortable, number one. Number two, expensive for you to hold cash. Have you ever heard someone say it's too expensive to deal in cash? Watch this. Who is that? The Prime Minister of Jamaica, Most Honorable and Your Holiness.
There are some countries now that you go and you go in your pocket and you take out cash to pay your bill. And they say, sorry, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take cash here. It's the reality. It's too expensive to deal with cash. So a lot of businesses are converting their systems away from cash.
It's too what? He needs our prayers, amen? Do you see it? Because he's simply carrying out the agenda of the central banks. The Bible calls them merchants. And who controls the merchants of the earth? The papacy, Revelation 18, verse 2 and verse 3. Watch this. This is the World Economic Forum saying the very same thing. It's too expensive to deal in cash. Listen.
So our alliance, we started 6 years ago with the question, is cash enough of a problem to focus on it for an alliance to be built, focusing on that one problem? You heard from Anne this morning. It's expensive to truck cash around if you want to be paying salaries. It's unsecure, it's inefficient, it's untraceable. You know the problems. We've talked about them today.
It's on what? All right, we got that. Notice here, my friends, here it is. Jamaica has become the first nation in the world to issue a CBDC as legal tender. My focus today is not on Jamaica. I covered that during midday power surge, probably 2 or 3 days consecutively. My focus is on Nigeria. Look at the red words right there. Which two nations are joined at the hip? Black words underlined. It also claims that 10 countries, including what? Nigeria and the Bahamas, all right, are all pushing what? CBDC. They're all joined at the hip, my friends. Look at this. Another article, ABC News. Britain, home to the world's second biggest financial center, is trailing, playing catching up. Catching up. Former colonies such as what? Nigeria, the Bahamas, and Jamaica in rolling out what, my friends? CBDC. More than 80% of the world's central banks are considering launching. How are you going to escape this? 80% of the world's economy? I don't know why a professed Seventh-day Adventist would even run for political office. It makes no sense, because now you're on the actual thread of the puppet master. They poke, you move. They say jump, you say how high? You have no freedom. And that's why they take away the people's freedoms. Am I focusing on Jamaica here? Nigeria, get back here. Nigeria to ban cash withdrawals. Did you just see the downward progression? First, they limited your cash withdrawals to move you from a cash to a cashless only economy. And now what is the next step right there? Look at the date. By the way, you know what? Watch this carefully. Watch this. Come back with me along the road here, my friends. What date is that? December 7, 2022. Washington Post, limit cash withdrawals. Move on now. Enough. I'm not past that. Come to this now. What date is that on the screen? February 6, 2023. What date is that? January 5th, 2023. Nigeria to ban cash withdrawals from government accounts. I call this the downward steps to dystopia, the downward steps to the mark of the beast. Watch this, my friends. Watch carefully here. Nigeria's central bank orders banks to close accounts of all crypto users. Why would they want to close down the bank accounts of cryptocurrency users? Why? Why do you think they despise cryptocurrency? Anybody knows? You're whispering. Talk to me. They can't trace it. It's not as regulated as the regular fiat currency and the digital currency. Unregulated, so they say. Now, you watch. Imagine, so you are a cryptocurrency holder in various banks, and the head says, you bankers, bank owners, close all those accounts. What will the bankers and the banks do? Close the accounts, or they go out of business. Do you think the bankers will go out of business for the minority? Wake up, friends. So now what's going to happen to our funds in our banks? Watch this. Four banks fined in Nigeria for allowing crypto transactions. So the banks that did not follow the government's rule, what happened? They were financially penalized. Look at the date right there. April 6th. The first one was when? February 5th, 2021. I'm giving you the steps. Past that, my friends. It says Nigeria's central bank reportedly freezes crypto traders' accounts. And do you know what they will say is the reason? Well, we want to stop fraud. May I ask you a question? Do you think the powers that be can get their stooges, their imps, and they create cryptocurrency accounts and perform fraudulent acts so that now their bosses can say, as a result, we must shut down all cryptocurrency accounts? Do you think they'll do that? If they can stage 9/11, if they can stage Pearl Harbor, what is this for them to do? Wake up, friends. If Nero, Emperor Nero, could do that, burn down the building and then blame the Christians, that's in history. If Nero could do that, what's that to these men over here, friends? Watch this. Nigeria's central bank closes crypto accounts citing what? That's their boogeyman. Off my screen. Watch this.
See, I think if you think what are the tools of the new world, everybody should have a digital ID, everybody should have a bank account, everybody should have a smartphone.
Okay.
Then anything can be done. Everything else is built on that.
Because we were talking about this before we came onto the panel, the three basic things: a smartphone, a bank account, and a digital ID.
Yes.
That's where every nation...
In India, it's been named by the Prime Minister the JAM Trinity. Jan Dhan, which is the bank account, Aadhaar, the ID, and mobile.
That shouldn't cost that much.
Oh, nothing.
Friend, there is an order, a consecutive order, that we must have with these three things. It says cell phone, what's number 2? CBDC. The CBDC is your bank account. And number 3 is what? A digital identification. Now you're going to see in Nigeria, if you refuse to go to the various offices and give up your biometrics to get a ID, you can't bank, nor can you have a cell phone. They're going to block cell phone use, close your bank accounts if you refuse to get a digital ID in Nigeria. What we're seeing there is coming to America. Mark my words. Watch this. Listen.
And the reality, as the financial system gets more controlling and more invasive, it's a little bit like bringing up a corral around us. And CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate.
Yep.
It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom, and we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them, and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on.
Have you ever been traveling to go to a particular place of business somewhere, and you had to be there at a particular time, or else the doors would be what? Closed. As you're driving, you're making sure, you're hoping to get there on time, right? So when will these doors be closed? They're telling us Agenda 2030. That's their public date. 2030. Some people say 2027 to 2030. When must we get ready? Watch this. That's Luke 21, verse 20 through verse 23. Watch this. Minister says Nigeria's ambitious digital ID registry should be complete by when? 2025. Watch this now. So Nigeria are pushing what two things so far? CBDC and what? Digital ID. Don't you forget those two. Watch this now. What is Jamaica promoting? Well, listen for yourself.
In the coming weeks and days, I'll be making certain announcements regarding the acceleration of Jamaica's intention to become a fully digital society. We are well on our way to this. We have established the national identification system. We have put in place our digital currency. We have given directions to our ministries to digitalize their operations.
It's over.
Most of our ministries are now moving from paper-based systems to digital systems. Our military is transitioning.
Or what? Watch this now, friends. Watch this. Listen to this. What's coming?
I think it's very hard for people who've grown up and enjoyed Western liberty and human liberty to imagine literally that we're going into a system where literally our homes, our cars, our communities become digital concentration camps.
Become what? Watch this now. Nigeria reaches 90 million digital ID registrations as database capacity issue looms. How many? Watch this now. Hear this. Nothing is going to be hidden.
Dans ce nouveau
In this
monde,
new world, we
on
must
doit
accept
accepter
transparency.
une transparence,
Amen.
et je dirais
And
même
I
une
will even
transparence
say
totale.
total
Le secret
transparency.
bancaire.
Banking
Tout va
secrecy,
être
everything is
transparent.
going to be
Et
transparent.
il faut
You
s'habituer,
have to
il
get
faut
used
se
to it.
comporter
You have
ainsi.
to
Ça
behave
devient,
accordingly.
comment
It
dirais-je,
becomes how
intégré
should
dans
I-
votre personnalité, mais si on n'a rien à cacher, il ne faut
If
pas
you
avoir
have
peur.
nothing to hide, you shouldn't be how? Afraid.
Dans ce nouveau monde,
on
se doit accepter une transparence.
Up.
Saying that you don't care about privacy because you have nothing to hide is no different than saying you don't care about freedom of speech because you have nothing to say.
All right. And what's coming now? Watch this now. The Central Bank of Nigeria wants to link its what? Central bank digital currency to a what? A digital ID system. Listen to this. What's coming? An Orwellian surveillance state. Universal access to e-Naira is a key goal of their central bank note. In other words, if you don't have their ID, you cannot bank, Pastor. Is that really coming? Let me continue. Watch this.